welcome to the show. We're here with Matthew Babbage from the World Cafe. Welcome back.
Thanks, Kevin. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. How's everything up there?
Good. It's busy as always, but getting ready for the spring season coming up and taking care.
Do you change your menu for all the seasons, like fall, spring, summer, etc.?
We changed in our upstairs cafe menu. We change 4 times a year.
Okay.
Spring, summer, and fall. And downstairs, we change it according to the show, according to who's coming, who the performer is, what the act is, what the crowd might be, who our guests are. So that's always constantly changing. And that we take advantage of anything fresh and seasonal.
Okay. And we can always go to the website to find out who's coming and if they want to go.
Yep.
But upstairs is just fine dining all the time.
All the time, 7 days a week, and brunch included on Sundays. The only thing we don't do is lunch on Saturdays. That's it.
Really?
So, yep.
All right. Today, we have a great treat for you. We're going to do desserts.
Today it is.
So I actually get to make cookies.
Yep, we're going to make molasses cookies. Actually, you're going to make molasses cookies. At the same time, I'm going to make 2 tarts, and they're both, one's pear and one's fresh figs with mascarpone. They're very simple. They're both made with phyllo, which you can buy at the grocery store. All of the items that we use here today are available. They're nothing out of the ordinary that you can't get at the grocery store.
Okay.
They're all simple. A lot of them, like with the cookies that you're making, are all pantry items. The only fresh thing going in that you want to would be the eggs. Everything else are dry ingredients and butter. That's
right.
it. So,
all right. Now, since you mentioned the egg, let's mention this because that was a great thing because we were just joking around about Rocky and breakfast and stuff. And you actually go to the extra expense to do what?
These are actually pasteurized eggs in the shell. So we don't worry about them causing any type of foodborne illness.
Right.
You could eat it raw. We could, right out of the cup, you could drink it.
Which I'm not going to.
No.
But when you cook your crab cakes at the restaurant, etc., anytime you use an egg, it's a pasteurized egg.
Pasteurized egg, so we can eliminate that possibility of any foodborne. With anything that you do, any contact or anything you can do to help eliminate any potential problems is the best thing to do.
I agree. But I never, you know what, to be honest with you, I didn't know you could buy a pasteurized egg in the shell.
Yep, you can. They're about twice the price, but it's worth the expense.
Do you have to go to a specialty store? Or?
Actually, one of my purveyors supply them, but you can find them locally in Delaware. I'm not sure where, but there are several places in Pennsylvania.
Okay, very good. All right, so we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to start the cookies, and you're going to start the pear?
I'm going to do the pear tart first and kind of help you out as we go along, but I want to be able to answer any questions as we're working on it.
All right, stay with us. It's going to get interesting. Okay, welcome back. As promised, we're doing the dessert show. Matthew Babbage from the World Cafe and myself on cookies.
On cookies.
On cookies. So, okay, this is what you've told me to do so far. We've added, it looks like, I guess, a stick of butter.
It's about 3/4 of a cup is in the bowl and is at room temperature.
Okay, which is very important, right?
It is because you want it to be able to blend or mix into what you're doing.
Right, and then I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar.
Granulated, just regular sugar. Add it in and cream it. What you want to happen is you want the sugar to be absorbed into the butter.
Okay, so
not crunchy. Yep.
Just
so, well, you want to go, don't start out too fast. Okay, and then you can add the sugar and you just want it to mix in. You just dump it in there and let it go. And then what you can do is you can add this. What will happen is it'll get lighter and a little bit more yellow.
Okay.
Okay. So while you're doing that, okay, what we're going to do is, for this part we use regular phyllo that you can buy in any grocery store. The only difference is we're going to use a vegetable spray instead of butter to help lower the calories in the dessert. Okay. That's normally those two things don't go together, but this time it does. Okay, so the first thing, this is a no-stick tart pan. You can buy this pretty much anywhere, top and bottom. Okay, so spray the pan. Okay, and then the phyllo, what I did was I just took a box and I actually cut it in half. And the thing about it is, even though it's as thin as it is, it's forgiving. You really don't have to worry that much about it cracking because we're going to fold it over as we go along. Okay, and if it's dry, that's okay. The big thing you don't want to do is you don't want it sticking up above the pan.
All right, so while you're doing that, should I do the dry ingredient part?
You can actually, this is the flour that we need, which is about 2 1/4 cups. But we run everything through just a regular strainer. The same thing with the ginger, cinnamon, and everything else, all the dry ingredients, because we don't want them to be lumpy. We want them to be nice and smooth, and that'll help incorporate them into that. So you just dump away.
So about 2 teaspoons of ginger?
Yep.
Right?
And you just need to reach it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I thought I was moving it out of your way. And then cinnamon here?
Cinnamon, you salt because it won't taste quite right without it.
Which is funny, salt in a dessert.
It's one of those things where no matter how hard you try to get the flavors out of what you're making, if it doesn't have salt, you're never going to get exactly what you want.
And then do I put the baking soda?
That is baking soda. Yep, you melt it right in there. Yep, because especially that, if that's not mixed in, and you get a lump of baking soda and baking powder, and the cookie that you're eating is rather, it's a little bit of a surprise. It's not quite what you're looking for. So what you can do now is you can take and scrape down the sides and scrape off the paddle.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to use your fingers on that one.
Thank
Sometimes
you
it's the best baking tool that there is. You know, I normally don't even use measuring spoons or anything. I pretty much just put everything in the palm of my hand.
Right. I'm not that skilled.
Well, you know what? It doesn't always work. But
well, I heard for baking you need to be more precise than when you just cook.
You do, but it's like with anything, the more you do it, the easier it seems to get. But that doesn't mean that everything's always going to come out the way it's supposed to. Okay, so what we have here is about 5 layers of phyllo, and it looks like we covered the pan pretty well. So what we want to do next is we have these pears. These are the Bosc pears. They're the taller ones with the thick brown skin.
Right.
The other pears are fine if that's what's available. You could use dried pears if you wanted to, but these are the ones I like because they have a lower moisture content. They're nice and sweet, but they have a lower moisture content. So
no, we have one in the back, right?
Yes,
you can keep talking. I'll grab it.
Yeah, it's right there.
Sure.
So these are just soaking in a little bit of acidulated water, which is just water with some vinegar in it. So that's the Bosc pear right there. And they peel well and they slice well. So the Anjous are the ones that are more green, and the juicier ones, the ones that when they get really, really ripe, they're the ones that like would run down your arms when you eat them. They're really good, but
all right.
Okay. So we have the pears.
All right, now should I start going with this again?
Yep, let's start. Yeah.
Do I have to mix this up first?
What I would do is I would probably just use this and just scoop it up.
Okay.
And you want to go kind of slow. If you add everything all at once and you turn it on, it's just going to flour everywhere.
All right, so I'll start slow again.
So with this, we got the pears and about 2 tablespoons of sugar and about 2 tablespoons of honey. Once again, a pinch of salt. And then also some flour, because at the end what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of butter on the top, and the flour and the butter will help thicken it. And then the best thing to use is your hands. And don't push down on it, but actually just kind of like pull up so everything gets mixed in well. Now with this, you can be as neat or you can throw everything in there if you'd like. Need a little help over there?
No, that's fine. Okay. I said, you know what we should do though? Is just take a quick little break.
Okay.
For commercial purposes.
Okay.
While you're doing it, are we at a good place for you to do it?
We're at a fine place. So the pears are ready to go, and then that little bit of liquid that's in there just goes right over the top, and that's it.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll kind of finish what's going on.
We can finish everything.
All right, stay with us. We'll be back. I'll work this out. Don't worry.
Okay. I'll give you a hand.